Hello and welcome to the Career Club on Google+. Thank you for joining us tonight, Monday night. We're coming to you every Monday now, talking all things cricket and all things IPL at the moment with what's going on in India. So get onto our Google+ page, our YouTube page, like us, tell all your friends. We'll be here talking all things cricket. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight, some great guests. And as you can tell though, it's only me here in Sydney. The great Stewie McGill. The fame has got to him. We've sent him away on a holiday, and hopefully though we'll find him today at some stage around the world so he can join us. But first of all, we've had some great guests on this show. We've had the likes of Justin Langer, Adam Gilchrist, Tom Moody. But I don't think anybody is going to beat our next guest. Have a look at these stats. 4 World Cup wins for Australia. Won 14 state titles out of 16 for New South Wales. International Cricketer of the Year, 07-08, twice nominated for the ICC Women's Player of the Year. Now, it's great to have someone on the show, I have to argue with Stu, who's won World Cups, but someone who's won more than me, I'm not so sure. Welcome to the show, Lisa Staleka.
Hi.
Good, thanks, Lisa. Welcome to the Cricket Club. It's great to have you on board. Amazing stats. 4 World Cups. We'll be talking about that later on, but thank you for joining us and we look forward to hearing your comments later on. The next great man, we all know, on the ground in India, on the ground in London at the moment, Akash Chopra. Welcome to the show, Akash. We can't hear you, Akash.
I think, yes. Yeah. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and I see that you're enjoying your solo time in Sydney. Your mate Stuart, where is he?
Man, I'm enjoying the time. It's very quiet here, but are you enjoying London? It's great to see you over there.
Well, it's good fun covering the IPL for ITV, and yes, enjoying it. It's not too warm. It's like it was snowing a couple of days ago, but then it's getting warmer. So anyway, it's April in England. It's generally slightly cold.
Well, great to have you with us, mate. But we've finally got hold of the man whose show it is, the man who runs this show, the great Stuart McGill. Where is he in the world?
You honestly think, Marto, that I would allow you to do something like this by yourself?
Well, I did try and do it. Akash and I did try and organise this, but you finally found us. So welcome to the show, mate. You having a good time?
Mate, Marto, I've got to tell you, despite the fact you think that I'm not here, I've been watching you right from the very beginning. You're sitting in my chair. There were 2 chairs there. You're sitting in my chair and you pretend that I'm over here on a holiday. I'm here on official business, my friend. This is all about our followers, the Cricket Club followers in North America, because they're a big part of our game.
Wow, mate. Well, it's great to see you. New York, is it, I think? It's terrible. It's tough life. I'm not sure where Akash and I were going. We've got Akash in London. You're in New York. I'm in Sydney.
Yeah, and Lisa's in Sydney too. I had Lisa, Sydney all the way from Bangalore, I think, where she had a small holiday after winning yet another World Cup. And by the way, Marto, they are real World Cup wins.
Can I just say, though, in the future, let's not have anyone on the show who has won more World Cups than me, please.
Well, there aren't too many people who have won more than you, Marto. It's just Lisa, there aren't too many people who have won more World Cups than you. So,
yeah, we have to screen our guests next time better, I think, Stu. But it's great to have Lisa on board.
Lisa, we had a look at your stats before getting you on the show tonight, and I have to say I've been watching your career, as a New South Wales player myself. I've been watching it for a number of years, and been watching with incredible jealousy. Because the number of domestic, Marto and I were having a fight the other day about who'd won the most domestic trophies, 3 or 5. You've won 14.
Yeah, 14 with the Lend-Lease Breakers. I actually played just recently the 16th consecutive WNCL final. So yeah, to come away with 14 is pretty good. I've actually got the medals here. Shall I show you guys? Marto, do you want to see what 14 medals look like?
Yes, bring him out.
Is it not boring, Lisa, to actually just go out there, keep winning? It's like, yeah, at some stage you would want to be an underdog. You've always been the top dog. It's not fair. Not fair on us, actually.
Yeah.
It was a compliment.
Oh, look, it is. It is hard sometimes. There's a real expectation to win, and yeah, I do like the underdog tag, which we had recently with the Australian team over in the World Cup. So, yeah, from a domestic point of view, we're the top dog, and everyone's ready to chop us off our block as we speak. But I've been able to finish my career on a high, and that's the main thing.
Lisa, do you really have 14 medals in front of you on the table there? Do you have them?
Yeah, they are just here.
Bring them up. I want to see them. We all want to see them.
Yeah, I do.
Get them. Marto, this is what a real cricket player
These
looks
are
like.
all the 14.
Pick them up higher so we can, put them in front of the come on, Lisa. So we can
because I'm actually
put them around your neck.
I'm actually in the process of trying to frame them and figure them out. So
You need a big office.
there's a couple.
All those trophies.
My neck.
So Lisa in man world, certainly in
Can
that
you hear all of this, guys?
I can.
Well,
It's all the
it's
gold hitting the table.
It must hurt.
God,
New South Wales
Yes.
have one
check
more
this out,
trophy.
Marto. Check this out. Lisa's putting the 14 medals around her neck. Very shortly, she's going to hit the deck and not be able to get up because of all the gold.
Julie, what's happened to the men's
Yeah,
team?
it's heavy. The men's, hey, they're going all right.
So, Lise, what I want you to
Okay,
do...
and then I've got about
I
5 or
want you to
6 that
back
don't have, but
Oh, this
I want you to
show's
back,
been all night.
back away from the camera. Yeah.
Wow.
Talk us through it, Matt. Lisa, talk to us.
Oh,
Yes.
it's like a rap star.
Lisa, you've got...
so
Lisa,
these
if
are
you
all of
talk...
them.
Yeah.
The latest ones are these top. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can. You've got to keep talking because otherwise you'll drop off the screen. You know what's happening now? It's shiny. It's so shiny that you're blinding us.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Where's the
That's
world?
so much gold. That's what it is, guys. It's like,
So everybody who's a member of the cricket club needs to just remember this moment. I hope you've all taken snapshots of the screen. Lisa, you can sit down. It's okay. It's all right now
Okay,
because
thank
you're making Akash, Marto, and I feel really bad about ourselves. Do you know what? Everybody who is a member of the cricket club should realise just the greatness of Lisa Sthalekar. I was actually very disappointed when you retired after the recent T20 win, Lisa, to be honest, because I mean, the final moment of the tournament was you taking a catch so athletic that I thought to myself, you were Damien Martin. How can you consider retiring after proving that you're still up for it?
oh, look, I think when you take a catch like that, you want to finish on a high. And I'm getting older, Stewie, and everyone else is younger, so that's my last athletic ability, and I thought, why not go out with that? So I was pretty happy to think that was the last thing I ever did, and it was a really, a great way to finish the match.
Now, Marto, I know that you're sitting in the boss's chair today, and you're obviously feeling a little bit intimidated because Lisa's here,
Yes.
and she's got way more World Cups than you do, and more domestic trophies, I might add too. But that's not the point. You accused me earlier of being in North America simply because I wanted a holiday. Now, fame has not got to my head. It's... What is it now? What time is it now here in New York? It's about... I don't even want to tell people because they'll be embarrassed that I'm working so late. But I am here because the majority of the members of the cricket club are spread over 3 sort of parts of the universe. Obviously, we've got, Venus, Mars, that sort of stuff because they're the spin bowlers. But you've got Asia, so Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, and then you've got North America. Believe it or not, North America are probably some of our biggest supporters and most active members on the planet. And so what I thought I'd do is come here, speak to some of our cricket club members and teammates, and I'm gonna do quite a lot of hanging out with these guys during the week, and I'm actually really excited about it. We've met Jamie Harrison, who runs youth cricket here in the US, and I'm gonna go to an under-19 trial on Saturday morning, and then I'm running a clinic on Saturday afternoon, and we're going to sort of try and film just to prove to everybody there that I am actually in New York. We're going to try and speak to some of these young guys in front of some big monuments. So, Akash, pick me a monument in New York that you think I should be filming on or around to prove to you.
Oh, well, I would have said Statue of Liberty, but then that's in the river or whatever, so you'll have to be at the banks and do something about it. And since you're in the US, why don't you just head to Texas? We are in process of developing grounds there. I've heard that in the US,
who is in the process? The cricket club?
That's me, yours truly, mate, with a cousin of mine. So we are developing a few cricket grounds with proper turf pitches. I think that's what is lacking in the US. I've heard there are only a handful of turf pitches. Everything else is played on concrete and makeshift pitches on football grounds. So we are actually trying to build some cricket facility there with some indoor stuff, outdoor stuff. So it should be up and running in a month or so.
Oh, that's good news for me. So I've heard that the big parts of the North America, apart from Canada, of course, which we know is the big cricketing nation, we've got New York, Florida, San Francisco, Texas, Fort Worth. It's a big, and there is one other place, and I apologise to all of our cricket club members who I have forgotten there, but there's one other major centre for cricket in North America. Lisa, I was wondering whether or not, so North America as an affiliate country, I know that in women's cricket the powerhouses are slightly different than in men's cricket. I was wondering whether or not you'd played up here, Lisa.
No, I never had the opportunity to play up there, but I'm keen to. Stewie, how about an invite?
Excellent. Absolutely.
Hey, cricketers there, aren't they? Come on.
Got to be.
But I think, Stu, what you say, Stu, the market in America is just untapped in a sense. I mean, there's so many people there, so many cricket lovers that, we've spoken to Jamie Harrison, who's done a heap of great work with the US youth cricket. Will we see cricket played there more often, guys? Will we see an IPL run from America?
Well, I know there was one planned, but unfortunately, the problem when you're in a country of 350 million, I guess, and it's easy. Lisa, you and I, Marto, what have we got? 22 million. It's easy for us to sort of say, yeah, organise it, guys. Akash, perhaps you're in the best position there to explain the difficulties of setting up a national competition, because you've got 1 billion people in India.
Correct. There are quite a few domestic Premier Leagues happening already. There is one in Dallas, and it's happening. I think it's getting into its 3rd year now. So there are, I think, one is happening in California. So there is cricket happening in the US. There is a lot of interest. I just feel that the unity is not there when it comes to the USACA. That's the United States Cricket Association. I think that's what is needed. Once that has been sorted out, I think something of that nature can still come up, and there is a huge market waiting to be tapped.
Well, from what I can gather, Akash, those problems are actually in the past, and already I've been. I only hit the ground here earlier today, and already I've been welcomed by a bunch of different people and organisations who are all working together on this project, and so it's very, very exciting. And I know that from a cricketing point of view, and you know, I'll point this in your direction, Lise. You just want as many people playing the game that you love as possible. So if you haven't played in the US, Lisa, and okay, you can come with me next time. Where have you played that is possibly not, you know, a traditional cricketing part of the world?
Yeah, look, I actually went for a holiday with my father to South America, and so I contacted Argentina and actually said, look, I'm going to be in the neighbourhood. Do you actually want to have me along, and I can help out with the Opens team, because I did a bit of research. And so I actually ran a 2-day camp for the national women's team, and I spoke to the men's national team as well about performing in World Cups, because obviously their qualifiers at the development stage is important to, you know, firstly access more money from the ICC, but hopefully qualify for a World Cup. So I had, the opportunity to go to Argentina and you know, have a cricket ball being thrown around, and it was actually a lot of fun. And they're keen as mustard. It's just not on the television like it is for us and over in India. So they actually have to go on live streaming and download things to actually see what, you know, what the standard is at the top level.
Well, Marto, the cool thing for us here at the Cricket Club is that we've made it very, very clear right from the start that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how fat like me you are, or skinny like Marto you are, or how grey like me you are. We embrace absolutely everybody, and that's one of the great things about our sport. It really does provide an opportunity for different, you know, personality types, different backgrounds to excel, and to not just excel but to win for their team. And Marto, I reckon the thing that you and I like the best about cricket is that we can start a club like the Cricket Club on Google Plus or YouTube, which, by the way, I'm hoping all of you are subscribing to our channel on the Cricket Club YouTube channel. It's very, very important. Lisa, you haven't yet. I checked before we got you on tonight. So after you've hung up, I'd like you to go. Yeah, no, you remember this, okay? Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the Cricket Club page, and then send me an email to prove it. Okay? So do it.
Okay.
But after you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to be uploading a lot of, and while I'm here, I'm going to be filming a lot. Marto's doing it a lot in Australia. Lisa doesn't know it yet, but she's doing it. She's our women's cricket correspondent around the planet. And apparently next time I'm in Fort Worth or something like that. And Akash, you're doing it for us in several continents. This is the thing that we like about cricket. Now, Marto, the reason that we're here tonight, though, and I'm going to have to maybe block your ears, the reason we're here tonight is this is the first of our Monday night shows, as you said, and this is your idea. The reason that we're doing it is because you believe that there's a real opportunity for a weekly wrap-up show, and you think the Cricket Club's the place to do it.
Well, I think so, Stu. Thank you for taking that on board. But I think what you say is great, that we've seen through all our Hangouts the amount of people that just love cricket and love the game of cricket around the world. And I think what's great about a Google Plus Hangout is that we can have people join us from all parts. I mean, we've seen it from England, America. You go on our YouTube page and there's people watching our page from, I mean, I saw the other day there's people from Germany, you know, watching the YouTube page. So it's just great that cricket is, you know, it's everywhere. People love this game. And I think through this we can connect with people who are out there who might not be watching mainstream TV, or as you say in North of America, who can't, you know, watch cricket in the sense that they can jump on here, jump on our Monday night cricket show. We can even get some on, as we've done in the past. We've had people like Andy Collett from Birmingham pop on the show and chat cricket, and it's just promoting the game and talking cricket, which we all love.
So tonight, and look, you mentioned Andy Collett. I'm going to be catching up with Skander Ramanath, another one of our Cricket Club members, while I'm here in New York, and I think his old man has a a cricket show called the Cricket Couch, and I'm going to be sitting on the cricket couch. I hope it's big enough for my ample derriere. But the reason that we're here on a Monday night, as Marto said, is because we think we've got a common interest with a lot of the world's cricketing population, and we want to just hang out with you and talk with you. We're going to be doing it every single Monday night at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So wherever you are in the world, check out what time 7 o'clock is in India, and we're going to be here at the Cricket Club on Google Plus and YouTube at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, so check in. Tonight, and the reason we're doing it at 7 p.m. is because Monday nights there's one IPL game, and it's at 8 p.m. Tonight, KKR, Kolkata, and Rajasthan Royals are playing. Obviously, you'll just press pause when you cross over to the IPL channel. But tonight, the Knight Riders and the Royals are playing, and we do have a little bit of an expert here in Akash Chopra. On our YouTube channel, the Cricket Club YouTube channel, you'll be able to see his little sort of snapshots of each of the 9 IPL teams. Tonight, though, Akash, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I want you to tell us about the 2 teams that are playing tonight. For me, it's Dravid versus Bayliss, the coach, but I might be wrong.
Well, Kolkata Knight Riders are the defending champions. They've started this campaign in style by defeating Delhi Daredevils in the opening game and defeated them convincingly. They've got pretty much all the bases covered. They've got the batting with Gautam Gambhir, Manvinder Bisla, Jacques Kallis, On Morgan, Yusuf Pathan, and Manoj Tiwari. So that's pretty much the core of their batting. They've got some quality bowling also to complement. They've got Brett Lee, they've got Sunil Narine, they've got L. Balaji. They've got a couple of spinners. Rajat Bhatia always does a good job. But the only problem that I see with Kolkata Knight Riders is that they are a fantastic team if there is something in the pitch for the bowlers. If the game is of, say, 130, 140 range, they are fantastic. But the moment it goes beyond it, the moment they are asked to chase, say, 180, I think they lack the firepower. They've got Kallis, who'd like to bat through the innings. But then if you see his career T20 strike rate, it will be in like early 100s. It will be 110, 20, whatever, which is not par for the course when you're chasing 180. So I think that's where they're missing that small little link. But having said that, they're a very strong unit and are led very well by Gautam Gambhir. Rajasthan Royals, on the other hand, is a very likable team. It's very difficult to not like them because Rahul Dravid is there. And once he's there, he brings in a lot of good work ethics and competitiveness and thorough professionalism. So that's what you would see with Rajasthan Royals. They'll always punch above their weight. They'll always give their 100%. And they've started their campaign once again with a victory and in a very close game against Delhi Daredevils. They actually had almost lost the game, but then bounced back. And that's what you will see with Rajasthan Royals. Bouncing back quite often, least when you expect them. But then Rajasthan Royals is one side who you won't really lose your sleep over, but then you would always be a little wary of because they can hit you, and they can hit you very hard when you least expect them to.
Okay,
Lisa, sorry, go, Mara.
I just want to quickly, Akash, on what you've seen. I mean, with the power hitting of certain guys. I mean, we know 2020, but just the likes we saw the other night of Pollard, Dhoni and Gale, it's just amazing. When Pollard came in, I think they were 6 down and it just went berserk. The grounds just don't look big enough. I mean, is that in each side, is that really something they need to have, a big power hitter?
You do need it towards the end of the innings. The moment 10, 12 overs are done, for the last 8 overs, you need someone who can really tonk it around and hit the long ball. Because right now, so far, we have seen like bowler-friendly pitches. In fact, bowlers are ruling the roost. 140 is perhaps par for the course so far. But the moment it goes beyond it, when we start touching 175, 180s, then you don't need your grafters beyond the 12th over. You need someone who can actually hit a 75 of 35 balls. And that's when you need the likes of Pollard, Gale, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And then Shane Watson is another guy who's capable of doing that. And Rajasthan Royals will be banking heavily on him.
Lisa, it's interesting to hear the guys talk about, power hitting and, how it's been turned by these guys. I look at this IPL, and I've had a look at the scores quite closely. I don't think that the scores are all that impressive at all, and they're in the 130s. 130 is winning a game, and so at least for me, if I watch, because I'm a little bit different to a lot of guys that have played. I don't see a difference between men's cricket and women's cricket. It's just cricket played by a different group of people, and for me. I don't think that the power hitting is winning games in the men's competition. What wins a 2020 game in women's cricket?
Well, it's I think, especially for me, Stewie, when T20 was first kind of brought in, everyone thought it was firstly the spinners would go, and that the batters had to clear the boundaries. But I think at the moment, if you can score off every ball and score multiples and find the gaps. A prime example is Benny Rora. He did really well for Melbourne Renegades and has now gone over to the IPL. He finds the gaps. He works the ball around, and yeah, he might not get 150 plus strike rate, or he might, but he might not do it with 4s and 6s. He'll do that with multiple runs off each ball, and that's the main thing, to score it off as many balls as you can, and I think that's going to win you matches. Yes, to have a power hitter is great, but sometimes that power hitter just keeps swinging and swinging and nothing necessarily happens, so that can also add a lot of pressure to the other batter up the other end.
Now Akash, you and Mardo, so Akash, you chose the Mumbai Indians as your eventual winner of IPL 6. Mardo, you chose Royal Challengers Bangalore. Of course, I chose the inevitable winners, the Kolkata Knight Riders. Well, I know which side my bread's buttered on, New South Wales coach Trevor Bayliss. Hi, TB. Lisa, you're not allowed to choose the Knight Riders.
Right.
Who do you think has the best, I guess, squad or, most well-rounded team to win this tournament?
Look, I'm probably going to go for a sentimental team to start off with, the Pune Warriors. So obviously born there, maybe I should probably follow them. So I'm going to go for them. Obviously fairly new to the competition. They've got some exciting players. The other team that I do like is the Mumbai Indians. I think that they've got a pretty good squad, but they haven't yet been able to kind of get it right, have they, Akash?
No, they haven't. But I'm impressed with your choice of Pune Warriors India. I've picked them as my dark horses. Okay. I think they have a good side. They've actually lost 2 in 2. So really, we are actually being told not to back them anymore. But I think it's a long tournament. They will bounce back. They've got a strong squad. I agree.
Mardo, look, Mardo, I think we should just about mute Lisa and Akash, because they've obviously been talking in the last couple of days. What I think we should do, I know Lisa is actually, even though it's the off-season, she's actually still got a huge amount of cricketing commitments working for Cricket New South Wales, and we really appreciate you joining us tonight. But before I let you go, Lisa, there is one small thing that I want all of us to discuss, really. The Big Bash League in Australia, we're talking about the IPL tonight, but the Big Bash League in Australia is, I guess our attempt to try and, modernise the game and take it to the next level and try and emulate the success of the IPL, if at all possible. Earlier this month, Steve Waugh was discussing the Big Bash League and suggested that maybe an option for us might be to include one member of the team from the women's cricket side of things. I wanted to know what you think about that, and whether or not you think that this is something that takes women's cricket forward, or how do you feel about a suggestion like that?
Oh, look, I was there in the room when he actually mentioned that, and it got a bit of a reaction. But look, I think we've seen in the past that female players can integrate quite well in men's cricket. Elise Perry played I think PNG or under 21s and bowled extremely well and scored some runs, so that has happened. I think probably from a bowling and fielding perspective, I think we could mix it with the guys. The batting is obviously something different. If we face someone, you know, Mitchell Stark at 140 plus, it would be something that we haven't been used to, and I guess the bounce that you guys get compared to us girls is a little bit different. I think anything like that can be trained for, and the girls put into that situation, they could cope. I think there's definitely a few players like Meg Lanning, Elisa Healy, also Sarah Taylor over in England. You know, I think they can definitely cope. Even Deandra Doughton, who's one of the biggest hitters that I've seen in women's cricket, I think she could clear the fence quite easily and do really well. But it would take a little bit of time. But definitely bowling and fielding, I think it shouldn't be too much of a problem to integrate.
See, because, and Marto and Akash, I know what you're going to say here. You're probably inclined to agree with Lisa regarding the batting, but all I think about, and all that I can think about in this situation, is that if I compare my batting to Meg Lanning, or listen, Lisa Sthalekar. Just by the way, Lisa Sthalekkar's batting, at least she knows which side of the bat to use. And which end of the bat to use. Lisa Sthalekar, you know, for a spin bowler, Lisa, you bat way too well. I've just got to say that. I'm very sorry. You let me down every time you stride to the crease and look confident. I can't see the difference between me facing 140 kilometres an hour and the best women's cricket players in Australia facing 140 kilometres. I'm useless. I reckon it shouldn't just be restricted to the top, you know, to one spot in the team. I think it should be pick the best 11 players in Australia for each side, and if 3 of those are women, you know, do it.
I mean, Stewie, I'm all for it. I think, you know, we've seen happen in other sports. You pick your best 11. I think it will happen at some stage in the shorter version of the game. You know, it'd be great to see one of the big bash sides take it on. But you know, I think, you know, as Lisa's saying, I think, you know, where you bat is true. Obviously, you batted 11, because that's where you deserve to bat.
It was mainly 10. Just okay. Let's clear that up. It was normally 10.
I think, as Lisa said, I think it can be trained for that. If someone wants to bat in the top 6, and that's the bowling you're coming across, it's like any of us, you know, we never grew up facing that speed. We trained for it and practiced for it and got used to it. So I think if they're out there and they're training for it and you're good enough, then, you know, you put your hand up, and I think we'll see it at some stage. You know, we'll see, you know, the women getting picked who are good enough to play in the Big Bash League.
And you know what, my 2 bits, I actually watched this Women's World Cup very closely, and I enjoyed it thoroughly when it happened in India. And I think it's the purest delight to see people still flighting the ball, turning the ball, and then when they're bowling, they're still getting the ball to swing in the air. I don't really go by the big hits, the big shots or whatever. They don't excite me as much as these finer nuances. And I think women have done really, really well in that case. So I hope that they get involved in this mainstream cricket, as they call it, or the men's side of it. And one day we'll have them around playing alongside the men. Why not?
See, the thing is that I also, if you compare like women's tennis and men's tennis, the men's tennis is bang a serve, try and return it, great. With women's tennis, you tend to have rallies, and the skill of the game is actually shown. So I think that's what you're trying to say, Akash, that hopefully our skills are pretty good to watch.
They are.
The power obviously is always going to be different. And that's what we just need to accept and not even try and compare unless they're going to allow steroids. But I think the skill aspect is there, and that's the most important thing.
Well, Lisa Sthalekar, I can't begin to tell you how Grateful the three, bogans in the group are to have had you join us. You're now officially a member of the Cricket Club committee, and this is not a job or a role that I think you should take lightly. It comes with huge responsibility. We're very, very, very keen for you and your teammates and former colleagues to continue to show us the reasons and the motives behind playing international and domestic state cricket, because I think you do a great job. And I, for one, am going to always remember two things about you. One is that magnificent catch to finish the T20 World Cup recently, and what a great way to finish your career. I think I got hit for 6 off my last ball. The last thing that I'm going to remember about you is the fact that I managed to get somebody on board at the Cricket Club who made Damien Martin's achievements look pedestrian.
Thank you, Stewie. Thank you, Lisa.
Great, I'm happy to help out.
Lisa, thanks a lot, and I hope you join us again. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, no worries. Anytime, Stewie. See you guys.
See you.
See ya.
Bye, Lisa.
Now, Marto.
Any more surprises?
Marto, look, there's no more surprises, Marto. Apart from, I do have one more surprise for you, Marto, and that is, and I'm not sure if you've seen this, Akash. We're not going to spend much more time here at the Cricket Club tonight because, it's obviously been an action-packed night for us. We're excited. Well, actually, do you know what? I said we're excited. I'm excited to be in New York. Let's face it. Marto's excited to be sitting in my chair. But Akash, during the week, Marto and I had the opportunity to work with one of, I think, and this is not a comment with, racial or national boundaries. We had an opportunity to work with one of the most exciting spin bowlers on the planet, Fawad Ahmed. Now, for those of you who have been long-term supporters of the Cricket Club, you'll know that Fawad's a refugee from the border area between Pakistan and Afghanistan. He arrived in Melbourne 3 or 4 years ago and has been doing his best to make a life for himself in a completely foreign country. And we had a chance to work with him. Marto, I've got a little bit of footage as a bit of a teaser. We've got a lot more that we're going to post on YouTube in the next couple of weeks. Fawad isn't able to play for Australia at this point in time, but he has played 3 games for Victoria. He did get 16 wickets for Victoria in that time. He's due to be he's due to get his qualifications to play for Australia in August, so he misses the Ashes series. Unless he can get a passport earlier. But you batted against him. Have a little bit of a look at this footage and let's see. You make some comments here, Marto, that I'm very, very interested in. So be very, very quiet and we'll listen to them.
That was the basic normal leggy. Bowled a bit short, so I'm looking to play back, hit it towards point. Another big leggy, good flight, loop, just a bit wide of off, so didn't have to play, just left it.
Now, Marto, this is a very, very interesting bowler for me. So I've watched that particular, just a tiny, tiny snippet of Fawad Ahmed bowling a couple of times now. I see him, and this is actually ridiculous. He walks in like Shane Warne.
In one, yeah.
He walks in like Shane Warne. His rotation reminds me of an older greying fat bloke that's currently in New York. And his height, the height at which he lets go of the ball, the arm height reminds me of Anil Kumble. This could be the ultimate hybrid bowler Tell me what it was like to face him.
Look, he was very good. You know, I've only seen small parts of him, and you know, we see, you know, there's 16 wickets in 3 games is amazing. But look, no disrespect to other spinners playing, or you know, in our comp or in India, you know, for Australia. But this kid has got the goods. He was, you know, I wouldn't say that lightly. I mean, I've faced a lot of spinners, but he was outstanding. What I liked about him was his height, as we spoke about, Stu, and the speed he bowled, which you might be able to talk about more, his stock ball. Now, in Australia, we're used to the leg spinner or the off spinner throwing him up and getting a bit of loop. Now, unless you're the Shane Warne or Stuart McGill, where you are, you know, getting revs on it, but it's, you know, it's dipping on you down the leg stump and spinning away sharply. You know, we really haven't seen many spin bowlers who you'd say would bowl us to victory in a sense. But if Fawad was in India, I'm not saying we'd win the Test series, Akash, but I'm thinking we would have done a lot better, because when he bowled that, I think it was about 86, 87, Stu, is that right? Sort of speed we're talking?
Yeah.
The stock
Yes,
ball, the
so
stock
Marto,
leggy?
yeah, so Marto, and Akash, this is quite interesting. So for me, I bowled between 78 and 82 kilometres an hour for my stock ball. Shane Warne, much the same. In one-day cricket, occasionally I bowled 76, a little bit slower even. Akash, because of his height, he doesn't have to get the ball above the batsman's eyes, because he's always way above it.
Already
He's
above,
his stock ball is 86 to 88 to 90 kilometres an hour, and it has the flight that we require. So I'll ask you, Akash, what do you think? And as Marto said, he believes that Fawad Ahmed has the basic skills to enable him to win a Test match for, you know, whichever nation he's playing for. Akash, what do you think a spin bowler needs to have to win a Test match?
You know, when we talk about a leg spinner, I look for consistency. If a leg spinner if he's turning the ball big, this is fantastic. That's what you used to do a lot more than Shane Warne. And hence you could actually get away with a couple of bad balls because the turn was always there. But if he's not a huge turner of the ball, and if he's bowling slightly quicker in the air, then I would like him to be more consistent. If he's consistent with his lines and lengths, I think he can actually make a difference. Because Kumble used to do that all the time. Not too many variations, didn't turn the ball much, had a very reasonable googly, but again, not a big turner of the ball. His strength was consistency, and if he's consistent, then I'm completely in agreement with Damien Martin that he could have made a difference in India.
But actually, the good thing about is that he can actually still
Marto, I'd like you to do. I'd like you to send a shiver through world cricket right now. So I said that he had perhaps the approach. Yeah, he had the approach of a Shane Warne, rotation of, you know, maybe somebody like myself, and the height of an Anil Kumble. Can compare him off the wicket and through the air to Anil Kumble.
Yeah, he was very similar. And I think, and what we spoke about, the few rare balls I did miss, Stewie, okay, just a couple, that the great thing about it was that, I mean, as we spoke about his height, but he was bowling a quicker delivery, still with a bit of loop, but on that off-stump line where you had to play, and then he still has his straight one, which was quite hard to see. Now, we shouldn't be probably giving too much away in case wherever he
played. How much did it turn? Compare his turn. Compare his turn to Anil.
He turns it more. He turns his wrong.
I think, mate.
He turns his leggy
more. Does
Akash,
he bowl a wrong
Akash,
Does he have a wrong
Akash, no, not just one Akash.
There's a
this
couple.
Guy.
No.
Yeah. And this is an interesting. We'll be talking a lot more about it, you know, Fawad Ahmed in the coming weeks, months, and I'm sure years. But the really unusual thing about this guy, apart from the fact that he beat Damien Martin's bat, because that is unusual for a spin bowler, he turns the ball more than when I turned up to this session. I didn't think that would happen. He turns the ball properly and we've got some good footage of this, and we've got some footage that Marto's tried to bury already. No. We'll eventually get it up there on YouTube. I want.
You're not going to see that he turns more than you. No, Stu.
Hey, I'm going to teach him to do it.
He's a way better bowler, Stu.
Because he's a way better bloke. He's a way better bloke than I am, guys.
The leg spinner who has turned the most in my life, the one I've ever faced is Stuart McGill, the biggest turner of the ball.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've been waiting, Akash. The thing is, we've had the Shane Warnes and Stuart McGill. I think, regardless of, what state he plays from, where he's come from, whatever, it's great that he's here in Australia. He's played for Victoria and done sensational, but he's a great kid and he wants to learn. He loves the game, and he seeing him stand there with Stewie, he was just taking it all in, wanting to get better. But he's ready to play at a higher level. I mean, he can definitely play and not just get picked to make up the 11 or hold an end up or don't go for runs. He can get 5 wickets plus and win a test match or a 4-day game.
Marto, Akash, you guys are having way too much fun controlling the situation in my absence. It's very, very late here in New York. I'm very, very tired. And so what I need to do right now is try and find some appropriate way to wrap up the show. I think that considering our Monday night show was stimulated by Damien Martin, but based on the IPL, the way for us to do it is to have a little bit of a look at the standings in IPL cricket at the moment. We've got a table for you in the IPL currently, and I've got to say, Akash, as much as I'd like to say that your team, the Mumbai Indians, were on top, or maybe perhaps the Royal Challengers Bangalore, or maybe even the KKR were on top, it's the team, Akash, that you said would finish right down the bottom, the Sunrisers, that have done the best business. And before you respond to this, I just want to maybe have a little bit of a look at what I consider to be the highlight of IPL 6. It's only 4 minutes, guys, so just stick around. This is, for me, the greatest piece of cricket I've seen in the last 12 months. Let's have a look at the super over.
Remember that the loss of 2 wickets in the super over ends the team's super over innings. So they've got a chance here. These two will open. It'll be interesting to see who's padded up and coming in number 3, and maybe the captain Sangakkara. So those will be the 3. There he is. So
super over. Game on it is indeed. Vinny Kumar to start things off in this super over.
Right, can he do it again? Pereira on strike for the Sunrisers. I tell you what, it's got to be a no ball. Yeah, I've seen the arm out straight away. Square leg umpire indicated, and there we have it. Not the start.
Well, it's 2 runs. It's 1 for the no ball and 1 for the run off the bat, and it was well above hip height. So a nice, easy decision for the umpires. Not a good start. Look at the coach's reaction.
Can he make a difference in the super over? Short tries to heave it away over mid-wicket, and only succeeds in getting it down the ground and getting a single. Very well bowled, right up in the block hole. I tell you what, talk about a second, should have been one there. Misfield as well, but really succeed in getting a single.
And there was a chance of a second because of that misfield. Kohli did really well backing up.
Oh, he's gone for it. Has he got enough on it? Yes, he has!
Dangerous, really dangerous length to someone of Cameron White's power. You want to be hitting the hole, hitting the Yorker, Vinny. Don't bowl length to a man of his power, and even the coach says, yeah.
Length ball! Has he got enough on it? Yes, he has! Last ball! Another change of pace. Length ball, not able to get it over the boundary. They're going to run through for 2, and he's going to get there. So atoning for the way he was dismissed in the main game, Craig White playing an absolutely brilliant super over. 20 they got without losing a wicket. Chris Gayle will take strike, I would imagine. So it's a tall order, it really is. 20 to achieve off a super over. Spot on, spot on. And they're coming back for two. He's going to have to hurry, Chris Gayle. No, I tell you what, been a better throw. He might have been struggling, but they start with two.
Oh, just for a second there, Chris Gayle was struggling. Oh, he made it in the end.
Well, it's for fine leg up in the circle. Didn't quite get it in the block hole. And straight a bit onto the pads of Virat Kohli. A thickish inside edge and enough to get past the man at 45 and away for four. Where are you going to hit those? Where are you going to hit those? Absolutely outstanding. There he goes, I'll tell you what. Can he effect another Houdini act? You betcha!
This is 137th six. And look at that, it was right in the arc this time. Stain misses. And Gayle says, thank you very much. Let me tell you, if this goes for six, I think RCB are going to end up winning this match.
Gale's thinking maximum. It's all that's going through his mind. He's thinking Yorker. I've got to get it in the block hole. Can he do it? He can! He can! Dale Stave. It wasn't a Yorker, it was back of a leg. But he's given the Sunrisers Hyderabad 2 from 2. And look what that means to them. They're all on the field, all under the dugout. He can't quite believe it. Chris Gayle not able to get his side over the line. But what an encounter we've had here tonight. Tied match. And then into the super over. And a brilliant cameo from Cameron White to get them 20 off their super over. And the RCB not able to get past that 20 despite a valiant effort by Chris Gayle.
Wow,
Akash.
super over, Stewie.
I know. So, Akash, you said that the Sunrisers were nothing. Did you see that?
I did see it, and I did say that. And you know what? It's good fun to be proved wrong. If we get everything right all the time, then we'll think, okay, everything is scripted, but cricket is not. So good to be proved wrong. But then, you know, I personally feel that home teams should be allowed to prepare pitches of their own liking. If Deccan Chargers are allowed to do that, and if they start dishing out pitches where there is something in it for the fast bowlers, they've got Dale Steyn, world's best bowler, and Ishant Sharma. So those two plus Amit Mishra, they can still, Tisira Pereira, so they can still put up those things until it's a game of 120, 130, 140. I think they have the goods. The moment it goes beyond it, which it will as the tournament progresses, I think chalk will be separated from cheese. Early days, Sunrisers have started strongly.
Mardo, you chose Royal Challengers Bangalore. I chose KKR. We're not even going to bother talking about Akash because obviously he's got no idea. I've been surprised about the low scores. Akash has just said that as the tournament progresses, they'll get bigger. Do you think that maybe, Mardo, it's because the bowlers have started to realise that they've got a big part to play in this form of the game as well?
Oh, I think so. I think when the comp came on, it was all about the batting, but we got some world-class spin bowlers playing over it at the moment. But the wickets have gone through quick, you know, and been a bit nippy now. And I mean, as Akash says, this is a 6-week, 7-week tournament. These wickets will, you know, the squares they've got, they'll wear down a bit. Where I think, you know, the scores will get bigger. But we've got some great spinners, and the bowlers and their tactics now are getting better. But I do agree, and I say it all the time, I do agree with Akash. I know it's hard to listen to, but I think you need something in your batting and that for later on, because if the scores do get above 150, 160, the pressure goes on. And I think that's when you'll see, you know, the Calcutta side, Stewie as well, the sides with a really good, not just 11, a really good depth of players and squad to get them through the whole tournament.
And you know, one thing about the tournament so far, that's my observation. Yes, it's been a bowlers tournament so far. Bowlers have ruled the roost, but the reason for that, in my opinion, is that batsmen take a lot longer to get used to the other format. Most of these guys are coming from playing Test cricket, one-day cricket, and now T20 cricket demands a little more, a little different kind of approach to the innings. And when you start the tournament, you're not so fearless. You want to start on a good note, get some runs under your belt, and then start going for biggies. People who've got runs, Gale, Pollard, Dhoni, they bat the same way, whether it's T20 or Test match cricket. So they haven't really changed the skill set. Others need to.
I think that's a great. I think that's a great observation, Akash. The batsmen that are traditionally successful in this form of the game adopt the bowling approach. For me, bowlers who are successful take wickets, and their main plan of attack in any form of the game is to take wickets. And so they don't actually, to be honest, the pressure becomes less and less the shorter the format of the game, because the pressure becomes more the batsman's. And so, you know, I think that's a very, very solid observation. We will definitely be unpacking that one. I want you to make a note of that, and I want you to ask everybody on Google Plus to get stuck in and to ask us more of those sorts of questions. Obviously, Damien and I aren't equipped to answer them, but you've just proven that you are. The reason we're here tonight, it's been a long show, but it didn't necessarily drop off at any point. And Marta, I think that's mainly because you were in the director's chair.
Well, I'm batting 4, just anchoring the side down. You know, I'm letting the stars bat around me. Akash, Lisa, Stu. So it's been a pleasure, mate. But we need you back soon. So hopefully you'll be back.
Look, I have to say, Marto, I think that the only reason that you're including me in that group of stars is because you're lonely without me. And I'm happy to sit next to you anytime you want. I might ask you to hang out 1 or 2 more times without me during the next couple of days IPL games, because we will definitely be hanging out on Google Plus and on our YouTube channel throughout this IPL tournament. We just need to find out which exact games you guys want to watch and listen to and hear our commentary on. Akash is obviously a very, very busy man with his Secret Service work in the UK. And Damien Martin, you know, just pretty much travels the world, much like myself at the moment. I'm in the US. I'm going to be doing lots of cool stuff with our North American Cricket Club members in the next week, and I'm going to be showing every single one of you exactly how strong cricket is in parts of the world that you never expected it to be. This is the first Monday night cricket show that we've ever had at the Cricket Club. It's certainly not going to be the last. We're going to do one every single week during the IPL, and Marto suggested that if you beg, plead, +1 and ask lots of questions, we may even do maybe Monday night shows throughout the year. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed Marto in the driver's seat. I'm really, really positive that you enjoyed Lisa Stalaker joining the committee, and I know that you just love looking at Akash Chopra wherever he is in the world, because let's face it, he's hot. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Marto,
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm not even going to give you the opportunity to do it because you were just too good tonight, and I need to chop you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.